Okay. Stay down to it. Stay up to it as long as you can. Very long, okay.
Okay, everyone. Tom, just put silent mode on the shutter speak, please.
Thank you. Okay,
Okay, so we've got head coach Warren Gatland and match captain for the Hurricanes game, Rory Best. Russell, you want to kick us off?
Yeah, thank you very much indeed, Georgie. And Warren Gatland and Rory Best alongside us. Gentlemen, good evening. Warren, we'll start if we can with any injury updates. I want to hear the guys have obviously knocked some bumps and bruises from yesterday.
Yeah, guys, pretty sore from yesterday, but other than that, we're not too bad. So, spoke to the doctor this afternoon. He just said that there's a lot of guys who are sore, obviously there after Test match, but they're all pretty good.
Good to hear. Needless to say, a win for the whole collective this midweek, just to again boost that mood and momentum, is vital.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think the guys are well aware of that, and they've been preparing well, and they know that we need to step up and give a good performance on Tuesday evening.
So obviously against the Chiefs, one or two players who started that game forced their way into the Test team. Are you hoping for one or two similar responses from players in this game?
There's definitely an opportunity, and I think the players for Tuesday night will realise that there's an opportunity for them to go out and impress. And we keep saying that the messages from 2013 were that there were significant changes between the first, second, and the third Test in Australia. So there will be opportunities on Tuesday night.
Just remember one or two of the selections, if I can look at them. Jack Noel playing at full-back, not his regular position, but again I guess another dangerous strike runner who can return the ball from deep. Is that part of your thinking?
Yeah, look, he's played there a bit before, and he was excellent in the last game that he played, and we wanted to give Tommy Seymour an opportunity in the start, and then George North gets a chance as well. So, which then pushes Jared back to the bench. So, look, it's just making sure that players, you feel. You want players to have an opportunity to go out there and impress, and that's why there's been a switch around there.
I'm sure George, having missed out on the place in the first Test squad, will be, there's so many other people also who are hell-bent on really impressing. Yeah,
well, let's hope so. There's a chance for him to go and make an impact. He was disappointed he wasn't involved in the first Test, and he gets a chance to go out there and impress.
Jonathan Joseph, correct me if I'm wrong, hasn't featured in 3 games now. Has he had any niggles, or is it just unfortunate the way it's fallen when he's been close to?
Yeah, it's been a bit like that. Look, he's been definitely in our discussions and debate. He did have a sore wrist that kept him out of training for a few days and that, but look, he gets a big chance on Tuesday night. Just
taking a look roughly at the pack, someone like a Courtney Laws maybe, who's been really impressive when he's had his chances. Bad luck with knocks. This could be a big night for someone like that as well, potentially.
Yeah, look, he's been unlucky with injuries and knocks, and I know he gets managed by England in terms of the amount of training that he does. He's had a little bit of a hip flexor and has kept down a training the last few days. So again, he's one of the players that gets a chance to go out and impress, and he has done well so far on tour. He has done really well. So let's hope he has a good performance.
And in terms of the Highlanders team that was, in terms of the Hurricanes team that was named, Julian Surveyor, obviously, Jordan Barrett, some real quality players that have been released from the All Blacks to make it an even tougher test.
Yeah, and that's what you want as well. They get an opportunity to play against the Lions, and for us and the players, a quality side to play up against, and obviously Super Rugby defending champions as well.
And Rory, congratulations on being captain for another time on tour. Great news. Must be very, very excited and very proud again.
Yeah, look, it's a massive challenge. You already alluded to some of the players released from the All Blacks to bolster what's already a very strong squad. So look, it's a huge challenge for us. We've been preparing well. We had to train on Saturday, and then got out to support the boys on Saturday evening. And yeah, look, we're in a pretty good place at the minute, getting ready for this game on Tuesday.
And finally for me, again, as we spoke to Warren about just then, really supporting the collective and getting momentum into Saturday. It's a crucial role for you and your players, isn't it?
Yeah, look, I think it's something that we've talked about all tour. Is the next game is the most important one, and for us now, we get the chance to pull on the jersey on Tuesday, and we get the chance to put a bit of momentum back. I suppose it's a bit of role reversal from earlier in the tour, so look, it's important for the whole squad that we get out and produce a performance. I think it's for morale as much as anything.
Rory, do you feel that, given the result last night, leading part was almost extra responsibility on the team?
I think it's just really important that we treat this as what it is, a very important game for the squad. And like I said earlier, every game we've taken each one in isolation, building up. Obviously, everyone knew the bigger picture was the first test selection. That's been and gone now. So now we have a chance to, as a squad, to put our hand up for selection for the second test, and that's what's important. And I think if we start to look beyond and think too much about Saturday, you take your eye off Tuesday, and if you take your eye off the ball against the defending champions and one of the strongest franchises there is, you'll come unstuck and you'll not need to worry about Saturday.
And given what happened after the Chiefs game last week, where some people who played in that featured in the test squad, I mean, there's almost an added incentive, if you understand.
Yeah, look, I don't think it's anything that the coaches have ever been backward about saying, is that everyone has a chance, and if you play well enough and put your hand up high enough, that you have a chance of being selected, and that's all you can ask for as a player, and that's what we got to go out on Tuesday and do, and we got to make sure that we produce a really good collective performance, and look, people within that collective will stand out, and that's what you want, and that's what having a big squad and having a really competitive squad is about.
Warren, just in terms of the team selection, again, just on that point, the fact that some people who featured against the Chiefs last week were involved in your test squad, I mean, is your mind still completely open in terms of test selection for test number 2?
Yeah, absolutely, and we spoke about that as coaches when selecting the side and players potentially with a chance to put their hand up for selection for Saturday. There's some areas that we need to improve on from Saturday, and guys get a chance to go out there and show their wares on Tuesday night.
How important is it that as a collective squad that you draw a line in the sand from last night, learn from it and move on, because it's the best of 3, but there were 2 matches.
Yeah, and look, having looked at the game today and gone through it in quite a bit of detail, there were lots of things that we did really, really well. The disappointing thing is that we were probably dominated in the collisions in terms of attack and defence, and it was as simple as that, and we need to improve on that over this week, and the guys on Tuesday night get a chance to go out there and be very physical, both defensively and the contact area on attack, and that's the one area that was disappointing from our point of view, but there were lots of things that we did that were incredibly positive and that we can build on as well.
Given where we are on the tour, is this the biggest week of the tour? With a midweek game plus a match which could be a deciding or otherwise test?
Absolutely. There's no hiding away from that fact that this week is really, really important for us, and so to get a good performance on Tuesday night, a good victory, a good result, and then to build into Saturday is going to be pretty crucial for us.
Rory, I know your wife, kids and your father arrived last weekend. What sort of incentive is it to have them here for you performing tomorrow night?
Yeah, my mother's here as well, so that we'll get killed if we don't mention her. Look, it's just great to have family out here. It is a long way from home, and we're a very close family at home. But look, I think for me it doesn't. The incentive for us is performing in a Lions jersey and doing yourself proud, and no matter where your family is, you're always trying to do them proud, whether they're in the stands watching or whether at home watching. You always get that support, and I think as a group, as a collective, it's something that every player strives for. They want to do people that's important to them very proud, and this is no exception. And yeah, look, it's nice to see them, and it's nice to be able to spend a bit of time with them, having only really been able to speak to them on the phone over the last number of weeks. So, but in terms of emotion around the game, for me, pulling on the Lions jersey is enough, and just trying to do those special people proud.
Okay, Warren, what's going to happen with the 6 guys who were out last week? Are they going to stay with the squad longer than planned, or is anyone else?
No, they'll be leaving over the next couple of days, as planned.
Nick, Warren, is Alman Jones okay? Are we right? No injury or anything like that?
No, he's fine, yeah.
Okay. And so with George Cruz, and the only one who's sort of backing up?
Yeah, it was a bit. Alan Jones did that role last week, and so George is doing it this week.
So I mean, in terms of obviously it's always tough for the guys to turn around quickly, but George played the whole game, doesn't he? He's obviously confident he'll be fine if he comes on.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, it's tough on players backing up, and we are, a little bit restricted on the tour in terms of the number of times that players can back up, and also a little bit restricted on the number of games that they can play in total as well. So, we've got to keep that in mind too.
And just in terms of the match yesterday and the way it sort of unfolded, everything you were talking about in terms of approaches. This is exactly what you said, wasn't it, from the start, in terms of the things that they were maybe criticising you for. That's exactly what they did to win the game.
In terms of being direct and stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they didn't really play champagne rugby, did they? So if we had to play that way and won the game, I'd be interested to see what the reaction was. So, look, you've got to take your hat off to them. And I did speak to the players and I said, you know, don't expect them to be expensive, because as a Kiwi, I understand what the mindset is, and often the mindset is to stop the strength of the opposition. And so, you know, to go out there and stop our line speed, to stop what was perceived to be a bit of a strength, which was our driven line out, and to prepare at some stage to have a crack at our scrum. And they did all those things, and were very physical at the breakdown. So, you know, it wasn't a surprise in terms of the way that they did come at us, and we just got to make sure that you know, we learn from that, we're better at that, and expect probably a little bit more of the same on Saturday.
Were you happy with how the game was refereed and issues?
Look, there's always a few things that we've got to do. I mean, the one concern for me was that there was a couple of times that from Conor Murray, you know, there was a charge down where someone dived at his legs, and I thought it's a little bit dangerous. And after he's kicked, he's been pushed a few times and pushed to the ground. So, you know, they're not massive issues for us, but just making sure that he's been looked after and protected, and not sort of harassed after he's, you know, box kicked and stuff. So we'll probably just, you know, get some clarity from the referee later in the week. And, you know, we can't complain about the referee in terms of the way he controlled the match. There's a few things that I want to get some clarity over in terms of you know, the sacking of the lineouts. Just for me to get some understanding about that. But, you know, there are lots of things that we need to concentrate on ourselves and fix. And, you know, we said all along we weren't coming here to bitch and moan about the refereeing. We needed to make sure that we played and looked after things ourselves, and, you know, we're in control of our own things.
And just on Conor, he's obviously had a bit of treatment like that previously.
Yeah, he has, yeah.
The strength of mind for him to keep doing those things, knowing it's coming, and what's that?
Yeah, no, it's a little bit tough. I mean, when you see someone dive at someone's leg and it's blind, you know, it's you know, you feel for the player, and it's a little bit concerning that, you know, they're actually not trying to charge the kick down because they're nowhere near it. They're actually diving and blindly and hitting someone's leg. So look, for me, it's just about protecting the players and making sure that they're safe, and that's my biggest concern. So I'll just be asking politely that the officials, you know, look at that and make sure they protect them.
Okay, so we're going to do a writers' briefing next door, just in terms of players. So we've got JJ coming in and Courtney. So Courtney's going to do Monday to Tuesday.